Hello everyone and welcome to What Should I Cook? My name is Neil Fuentes and this is a show where you can tell me what ingredients you have at home but you have no idea about what to make with those ingredients. I will grab those ingredients, make a meal for you on video so you can watch the video, follow the recipe and make the meal at home and really look in front of your guests like a true chef.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks.
So after looking in the refrigerator, I think this is what I'm gonna make today for lunch. I'm gonna make some pork chops. I'm gonna make adobo marinated or adobo dusted pork chops. So we have 3 pork chops right here that I'm gonna be using for today's recipe. And of course, the adobo. We're gonna dust them with this and then gonna pan fry them for a little bit. Then, after we take them out, I'll show you that. We're gonna cook the mushrooms with a little bit of brandy and a little bit of cream, and then we're gonna put the pork chops right into the pan. And then to accompany the pork chops, I'm gonna go with a little sweetness. So I'm gonna make some sweet potatoes. But the sweet potatoes are gonna be together with a little bit of onions and also bacon. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my sweet potatoes that I already diced, as you can see, in a pot of boiling water that I already have. So we put the sweet potatoes right in there and we're gonna let them boil. Put a little bit of oil into the frying pan that is already hot, right? And then we're gonna add to that a little bit of butter. So I have 3 tablespoons of butter right here. And we're gonna let that work out. That is working. We're going to grab our adobo, right? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna dust the pork chops with the adobo this way. So this is all you need to do. Just grab your adobo and a little bit. Don't go too crazy because adobo actually has a lot of salt in it. With a little bit like that, so the adobo goes into the meat. Then we turn them around. I'm going to repeat the procedure on the other side. So we're going to go into the frying pan. And there they go. That's going to be so good. So I have a little saucepan here also heating up. And that's what I'm going to use to start cooking the bacon. So we put the bacon right in there to start heating up. So as you can see, the pork chops are nice and brown. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and take them off the pan right now. Look at this delicious they look. I'm gonna put it on a plate for now because they're gonna come back in here. Right? Let me show you right there. And basically, we're gonna let them cook for a little while. These mushrooms are like sponges. So what is going to happen is they are going to absorb pretty much all this butter and all these flavors that the pork just left right in there. So the bacon became really crispy and now we have just this fat right here in the saucepan. So now I got my onions, which I already cut, right? And they're gonna go right into the pan. And that what's gonna happen is the actual onions will also absorb, like the mushrooms, they're gonna absorb the taste of the fat from the bacon, so that they're gonna make an absolutely delicious. Now look how delicious the mushrooms look. That's the flavor we're looking for. Now what I have here is a little bit of brandy, so I'm gonna add a little bit of that in there. That's gonna deglaze the pan. Oh, that smells so good. It really does. And then we're gonna add to that a little bit of cream. Just a little bit because we don't want the dish to be too fat, too fatty. So a little bit of cream, just like that. And that is gonna become, as you can see, a sauce, right? Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the pork chops and we're gonna put them back in here. And we're gonna let all this cook together, all like that, okay? And the pork chop, they drip, so we grab my drips, we put it back in there. So we need some liquid in there. Now that the onions are almost cooked, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the 2 tablespoons of brown sugar that I have ready for here, and I'm going to put about a tablespoon of water. And then basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to dissolve the sugar in this water, right? As you can see, I'm dissolving the brown sugar in just a tablespoon of water. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Once this is done, I'm going to put it in the onions. The onions are cooking, look how beautiful they are. And we're going to put that in there. Right? And to that, we're going to grab the bacon. I'm going to put it right in there too. So we're going to all these flavors marry together, and our sweet potatoes are ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain them, and I'm going to mash them. And once I mash them, I'm going to add those onions with the brown sugar and the bacon to the sweet potatoes, and it's going to be amazing. So my sweet potatoes, as you can see, they're all cooked. All I did was add 1 little tablespoon of butter to that, right? And to that, we're going to add also, we have here grated Parmesan cheese. I'll just add a little bit like that, you know. I like the flavor of the Parmesan cheese with sweet potatoes. And to that, about 2 tablespoons of cream. Okay. And we mix all that. Look how succulent and delicious that looks. So, and to finish that up, right, we have the star of this dish, which is our caramelized onions and the bacon. Look at that. So that's gonna go right on in the sweet potatoes. Ah, that looks so good. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix it all. Look at this. And the colors look awesome with the onions and the bacon. Okay, so in order to plate this dish, all we gotta do is grab our little sweet potatoes. Absolutely delicious sweet potato with caramelized onions and bacon. Put it right there in the middle of the plate, just like that. This is just so good. Okay, and then grab your pork chops with the mushrooms and the brandy and the adobo. One right there, one right here, and one maybe right there. We want to show also this potato. And then of course, you're going to garnish pretty much the dish with the mushrooms. Just like that. Mushroom just like that. And then grab the rest of the sauce and go around. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Pork chops with brandy. Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed another episode of What Should I Cook? As you can see, it was a very easy recipe to make. These are pork chops with a little bit of adobo, pan fried, and then a sauce made with mushrooms, a little bit of brandy, and a little bit of cream. And then on top of, we put it on top of sweet potatoes that we mashed, and we mixed them together with a little bit of caramelized onions and bacon mixed with a little bit of brown sugar, simple syrup pretty much. Now, at the end of the dish, when you are trying your sweet potatoes, you can always reseason it, put a little bit of salt, put a little more sugar if you want to. Depends on what your palate is, so you can play with that. So I hope you like this dish. I hope you try it at home, and if you do, please let me know to see how it went, to see if you liked it. Thank you very much once again for joining me in one more episode of What Should I Cook? My name is Neil Fuentes, and I see you next time.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks